What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Bourbon and Bullshit, the podcast where everyone's welcome to the table to share good conversation, a great drink, and even better company, and a little bit of BS. So grab a seat, pour up something neat, and welcome to the show. Welcome into the show, everybody. This is going to be a very special episode of Bourbon and Bullshit because this one's going to be where I bring in talent from other states. This one is called Bourbon and My Favorite People. Tonight, I'm joined by one of my favorite human beings in the world, arguably my favorite human being in the world. And for all of you who are going to complain and say, shouldn't your fiance be that person? Now, we've aligned. We both love the same person more than we love each other.
Very true.
Shai, my favorite human being. How are you today?
What up? I'm good. A little hungover, to be honest.
Why are you hungover?
Because I had a night out.
Oh, what kind
I
of
had a
night out?
babysitter, so I left.
Is it the mom's things? Mom's night out type of shit?
100%.
You went too hard?
Mommed out?
Way too hard. I had like 2 margaritas before we even sat down at our table.
How the fuck? Did you just double fist them?
No, I drank them, and then I looked to my left. I'm like, oh shit, am I supposed to go slow? Like everyone else's margaritas were still full.
Wait a minute, this is not juice?
Is this not just like non-alcoholic margaritas?
Oh yeah, the salt, everything.
Yeah, we are definitely related. Welcome in all the way from Cali. And next to you is my fiance. At least top 3 of my favorite human beings in the world. Top three.
At least I made it top 3.
Yeah, she made it top 3. I put a ring on it, so that's
There
for a
we
reason.
go.
Rosanna.
Wait, who's number 1?
That's you.
Oh, who's number 2?
We don't want to talk about
Me.
that in the show.
I'm number 3.
I just want to mess with you a little bit and see if you wondered, but Shai ruined
Sorry,
it by
I should
asking
have
for
asked. Well,
Yeah,
I
you're
wanted
good.
to get specific, which
Somebody
in
did.
hindsight was a bad idea.
I know it was. Kind of broke my heart a little bit.
Rosanna, how are you today, baby?
I'm good, baby. I love you. Thank
Love
you.
you too. Well, guys, as always, we do this.
Even though I'm number 3.
I said top 3.
Oh, top 3.
Top 3. That does not put you.
You're in there. Don't
I'm
worry.
in there. I'm in there. I made the list.
You made the list. There's a lot of people who got pushed out of the
I
list.
made the MySpace list.
Yeah. You know. Bro, do you remember when MySpace was a way to tell people when you were pissed off at them?
I know when you
Yeah.
moved them
Nothing
to like
felt
number
better
2
than
and
moving
3.
someone down to number 2 or number
And
3.
you'd be like, you know what? You made me mad too.
Yo, bro, we good? Yeah. Why are you asking? Yo, I moved to number
Don't
7.
ask questions.
I
Like
don't
he's
know.
almost out of that. Like he should be worried.
Yeah. First of all, why do you feel guilty?
Yeah.
Did you do something, Greg?
That's like when somebody's like number 7. I was like, don't do number 7 things.
Yeah. If you,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
don't do
you got
number
scooted
7
down for a
things.
reason, buddy.
If you want to be number 3, act like number 3. Huh?
Yeah, if you want to be number 1, act like number 1.
Jesus, this is so evil. MySpace was rude.
Yeah,
It was ruthless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember not knowing that MySpace was originally for like college kids, and I just joined it because everyone was.
You know
talking
what?
about
Now that
it.
we're talking about it,
No,
like every
Facebook.
single time.
Facebook was college kids.
Oh, it was. That's how.
MySpace-
That's how
MySpace
it
was for.
You remember when
hookups
you
and
used to
shit.
do your background and it was like all funky.
Oh,
colors
I was a
and
fucking like
I was
computer
fucking
expert
Picasso,
when
like,
MySpace
I
was
had like
around.
a really good background.
Yo, low key, MySpace was teaching motherfuckers how to program.
Exactly. Very early on. You know what? I want to become a programmer.
Yeah, now I'm fucking wish I learned that shit.
Yeah,
Fucking
exactly.
wouldn't be doing-
Retain some of it.
I wouldn't have been doing a podcast for free right now. Listen, all right. Well, as always, we do a drink of the day. So I want to keep it a little bit festive because this episode is being recorded on December 30th, 2023. It will be the last episode of the year.
The last episode of the year.
We're gonna sound like that later. Oh god! So we still kept it with us, similar to the sour, but I want to make the Santa sour that we featured in one of our previous shows. But we want to make it more like Yuletime.
Throwback, baby.
So this one is that was really unique. This is I don't know what to call it. I'm gonna call it the chai sour. Fuck it. 'cause this is
Nice.
Lego.
Drink named after me.
So
you
this
go.
this simple syrup had to be steeped overnight, but it is made with pomegranate juice, cranberry juice, cloves, grenadine. I'll put all the measurements.
natural shit.
Oh yeah, I'll put all the measurements into the show notes with lime juice, and we made 2 different versions. One was with pisco, whatever it's called. Pisco. I don't know
Pisco.
what the fuck that shit is, but it's clear, so it makes the color look better.
Yeah.
And the other was with 2 ounces of Willet straight rye. So, Shai, since you do not necessarily drink as much as us, we give you the pisco version.
I think pisco is like white grapes distilled. Because you know who drinks it a lot?
Who?
I've seen a lot of Cuban people buy it.
Really?
Like aguardiente.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So
I
it's
see
right
that
next
shit
to
and some
that.
shit.
Yeah.
Shai,
Not to
Yes.
what do you think?
It's pretty good. One of your best, I think.
Was it refreshing? I mean, this is your
Yeah,
second
no,
one.
it's
You
really
stole your
refreshing.
husband's.
Yeah, no, I downed the first
I don't
one.
know. I think he's like. actually falling
No, it's
asleep
really
right now.
refreshing. Like being hungover and stuff it sucks, obviously, but drinking this, I'm like, oh, that's not so bad. I could maybe I could do it again tonight.
Yes.
So
and
I
welcome.
I look-
Because
I
we're
look-
going to drink.
I look at what pisco is. It's Pisco. It's technically unaged brandy obtained from the distillation of recently fermented Peruvian grapes,
We have some grapes.
musts, and juices. Okay, cool. This is weird. I never had this before, but good to
Yeah.
have it.
It makes it like it gives it like that sweet taste of like something that's like distilled grapes. It's
Yeah.
not
Like a stronger wine.
yeah, like a stronger wine.
Yeah.
like it's literally legit clear white.
Definitely
so
an
it's
easy
literally
drinker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's what I was called in college. Listen,
Bada bing.
Rosanna, what about you? How do you like your little chai sour? Because that's what we're naming it.
I like it.
Why do you seem uncertain?
Yeah, that was
I know
not
you heard that
convinced.
deep
Yeah,
sigh. I
like-
forgot what we recorded. No, just kidding.
I like it.
My true feelings.
God, she does
it's
not
just
like it apparently.
no, it's just a little too sour for me because
Oh.
I think like at the back end is like just a little bitter. But
Mm,
some drinks that are sour sometimes they tend to be a little sweet.
Too
But
sour
this
for
one,
you.
yeah, this one's a little too sour
Yeah,
for
this
me.
is
But I
perfect.
love the color. I love like the cranberry
Pomegranate.
look. Like I think it's a very sexy, pretty drink.
Yeah.
But
It had some star anise. It had
I
all
mean,
these,
she
like-
looked good, but she a little sour.
That's
Yep, that's definitely me.
damn.
Describing people here, y'all.
I was called the easy drinker, and Shai's been told she looks good, but a little sour. You have some trauma to deal with.
Let's talk about it, baby.
Speaking of talking about it, Chai, how have you been? What have you been doing all the way in California? By the way, I can't put any music on here because apparently it'll get copyright.
Yep.
strikes. So I
get
can
it.
sing it, though.
I know somebody thought gin and juice immediately, right? Like sipping on gin and juice.
What have you been watching, reading? Just what's been keeping you busy, other than being a parent of two rambunctious children and a man baby?
That look like your
Right.
baby daddy. You look just like your baby daddy. I love you. Your kids look maybe a little bit like you. Like if we had to give it back, but
That's
if your daddy's not next to us, like wait, this is your child, 100%, man. Your baby daddy.
focus. Jai, what have you been
What have I been watching
about to
and
meet Rosanna.
and reading? Well, we've been watching this show. It's really funny. It's called The Curse on Paramount Plus.
What is
It
that?
has Emma Stone in it and Nathan Fielder. It is
I've
like
heard about this.
if you've ever seen Nathan For You, it's like that kind of humor, like very awkward situations and like you just it's so funny because
Apparently
it's
they
so
were
uncomfortable.
cursed by like a child, right? Like there was a child that cursed them.
Yeah, you saw the previews. It's
yeah.
actually really good. Nathan Fielder is so funny, and it's like dark and
But
funny, so
funny.
it's the right combo.
Yeah, and I heard like this is like she kind of produced or directed a bit of it.
Oh
because
yeah, she
wanted to
was
get
super
into that.
involved in it. It
Yeah,
looks
she
like.
wanted. She said she wanted to get into, directing and producing, but mostly directing. And I think she was kind of involved in that.
Yeah. It's I saw her name like all over, like with producer credits and stuff. But it's a really good show. Me and Matt like constantly look at each other like, is this real? Like, are they for real? But
The show is on Paramount Plus or Showtime?
yeah, on Paramount Plus. Oh no, it's a Showtime show because
Yeah.
they're all combined now. So who knows?
Yeah, I was just thrown off. I was like, I just want to make sure I'm looking at the right show. Go
Yeah,
on.
I'm like on Netflix these days. There's stuff from HBO.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did this get here?
Yeah, I'd be looking at HBO. I'm like, bro, how did you just add this? Like, what's happening?
Tell me more about it. So is it good?
Oh, it's really good. I definitely recommend it. It's I mean, if you like awkward comedy, then it might just be awkward.
Oh, okay.
Nathan Fielder's super funny in it. So is Emma Stone, but I would definitely check it out. I mean, I think a new episode actually just came out yesterday, which we haven't not seen.
Okay, I'll check it out. Definitely. Anything else you got going or anything else you've been reading or doing?
I did read this book recently. It's called Night Bitch.
Excuse me?
So yeah, it
What
grabs
is it?
you the
What?
title.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's called Night Bitch. I don't remember the author's name, but it's really good. It's about a stay-at-home mom.
Rachel Yoder.
Yes, that sounds familiar. That sounds right. It's about a stay-at-home mom who like slowly turns into a dog. It's like the most unhinged like story, and it's about postpartum and
Y'all can't see my face, but I turns into a dog.
yeah.
Is she
and like
cursed
roams
too?
the streets
What is
at night.
going on?
The line with supernatural reality is never like explicitly stated. Like you always, it's kind of a leave it up to the reader type deal. Which it was really well written. I really enjoyed it.
I want to be clear though, like they're not leaving room for interpretation. This isn't like I don't know, like she's still running around as a human being. Is she really a dog?
I'd like to think she is. The story goes, it's like she's like, I turned to a dog. I roamed the streets this night. I did this and this and that, but no one ever sees her turn into a dog. Now without giving away spoilers, like there's a scene in the book where it's like maybe they saw her or maybe it was like a shared delusion, if that makes sense. Okay. Like if you read the ending, it's you'd understand why, but I kind of like that they left it ambiguous.
So it's not like, I'm just making sure it wasn't like symbolism. It's like, that she just loses her fucking self and goes a little
that's
wild
up to you to decide. Yeah, it's like
that's what you gotta read.
You could take it as like a supernatural book where she's really roaming the streets as a big dog, or as like what you said.
It says sometimes transforms into a dog. That's literally just it.
Or it can be like her conscious at night. Whatever.
2021 novel by American writer.
I don't know. It's really good. I enjoyed it.
Nice, man. Well, shit, you have been fucking keeping entertained.
I mean, thank God you can read on your phone. Because, if my kids ever saw me holding a book that wasn't theirs, ready to read to them, I'd be like, what are you doing?
You gotta trick your kids.
Do your children enjoy the books?
Their children's books?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Not Night Bitch.
No, not reading Night Bitch to them. Well, no, they actually love reading. We go to the library a lot. Pick out like tons of books, read them before bed.
This is a random question, and you were not prepared for this one. When you are reading newer children's books, do you feel like sometimes are they giving like little cues and making it more enjoyable for parents, or is it
sometimes like other times you're reading it and like it's like you didn't read it before you read it to your kid. You're like saying the words out loud, like if you were like, wait a minute, like I'm not reading this. Yeah, it's
really?
weird, or like weird stuff, like really sad,
really,
or really dark, and it's like obviously this is a book from like the 90s
to make it convenient.
Yeah, I always change the words. Like with Little Mermaid, I never say that she needs to kiss the boy. I'm like, this Little Mermaid's always talking about kissing.
They talk about kissing
a lot. That's basically the whole movie.
That is what all Little Mermaid has ever been. That woman was willing to give up a kingdom.
No,
like you were literally a mermaid. Why the fuck would you want to be a person?
She wanted to give up a kingdom for dick.
Well, she was seventh in line, so there's this theory going around like she did it on purpose because Eric is a prince, so marrying
so she's
him,
to jump to the front,
right? Like marry him, she has a kingdom.
What the hell?
Because she's never gonna inherit King Triton's kingdom unless she starts killing her siblings.
What the hell?
I mean, shit's gotta happen sometimes. Bro. Some people.
You can't be.
Can you fall downstairs in underwater? No.
That makes it.
It might be really hard, actually.
No,
you can't drown her.
Right.
No.
And if you have any of the like shark kill it, like it will tell your dad, like, well, Ariel told me
like,
to kill
hey,
him.
she just tried to set this up. It's kind of awkward. Like,
this is weird. I'm supposed to listen to her.
Like, do you want me to do it or
just say when?
Holy shit. Yeah, she didn't get away with murdering her siblings.
So she's like, you know what? I'm just gonna find a human, turn myself into a human, and rule on land. Like, fuck the ocean.
That just reminds me, just because we went a little dark with this Disney one. There's the Grinch's evil rendition that just came out.
What?
So I don't know if you remember like a year ago, a movie. Long story short, Winnie the Pooh became public domain because the property, intellectual property that was eventually bought by Disney or whatever, wasn't created by Disney. They created Tigger and a couple of the other subsequent characters, but Christopher Robin, Winnie the Pooh, and Piglet were public domain because it was written as a fable, like an old story back in the day. So if you don't make new properties with it or you don't re-up, it becomes public domain and anyone could use the property. So a company, a small film organization waited to the day that it could like make something with it and made a horror movie called Blood and Honey.
What the hell?
Yes, I've heard of that.
I did, and it just.
You remember how fucking they waited till the day they're like, all right, public domain, make a movie. So with that, another icon that became public domain was the Grinch.
Really?
So there's a movie called The Mean One. So I wish, because Little Mermaid technically is an old school story.
It looks really good.
That it becomes public domain and we can make it so she's trying to kill her siblings.
Oh, that would be really good, like a dark psychological thriller.
You heard it here first.
Yes. So someone write it down.
Somebody write it down. Somebody take notes for us.
Awesome. But it does seem like you've been at least keeping yourself
Savannah,
busy.
do your job. Take notes.
That's her job now?
That's her job.
Have we assigned Savannah to jobs?
Yes.
She's not getting paid, right? Are we paying her?
In hugs.
Oh,
in
okay,
hugs. In hugs. She loves hugs.
Currency here at Bourbon and BullSh. It's very
Very minimal.
But awesome. And nothing else going on with you?
Nothing else as far as like good things to watch.
Not a big deal, man. You could be talking about the smut and random shit that people read and watch.
Speaking of smut, we watched Saltburn.
How is that shit? I
liked it a lot, but I'm a big fan of like dark again, a dark thriller. That's my wheelhouse, but it was really good. The actors in it are like the younger generation actors, where it's like
You don't know them?
yeah,
yet?
you don't know them. They don't have like the big reputation, but they're really good in the movie.
Like in a couple of years from now, one of them might be the next Ben Affleck's.
The main character in it, the main actor Barry, I think his name's Keegan. He's Irish. He's really good in everything he's in.
Yeah, he looks.
He was
just
also
like
in.
Timothy Chalamet that I was saying.
Yeah, he
I
has
was
like
that's
those
not
blue eyes that are like very
piercing.
striking. But he's been in a couple good movies. He was in The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
What the hell was that at?
Another thriller.
Oh,
Surprise. And then he was also in The Banshees of Inisherin, which was that Colin Farrell movie that came out not that long ago. He was like the young,
one that
like
me and you wanted to watch.
Let's be clear also. Barry Cogan,
I
whatever his name is, he was in The Batman and The Eternals.
Oh, that's
and
right.
Gladiator 2.
That's
And
right.
I should have said those.
He's been in
Those
a bunch,
sounded cooler.
and Dunkirk and a couple.
That's right. He was in Dunkirk.
So and The Green Knight and Dune Part 2 and American. So he's not an unknown actor.
Oh, no.
We just don't know him.
We need to see Saltburn.
We
It's
just
good.
don't
It's
know
on
this man.
Prime. It's very good. Just be prepared, for some scenes. It's
Okay, don't
can
spoil
get
anything,
real
'cause we definitely gonna watch
intense. But I like those kinds of movies. You think about it.
I feel like you
days
said
after.
some
That's
seeds.
like
There's
remember
some-
when me and you were watching we were watching the Changeling with Changeling and then
Oh, the
remember we
TV
told
show.
you-
That one was a hard
Yes.
watch.
Yeah, that is a
It
hard
wasn't
watch.
really enjoyable as I hoped it would be.
Remember the episode where it was just about his mom doing
Oh my
interpretive
God,
dance?
yeah.
Yep.
Matt and I were watching. Matt's like, I'm not gonna make it through this, babe.
I
Like,
really wanted to like that show. I
Yeah.
wanted to like it so
Like
much.
we stopped watching it because
It's a book.
for us. It is.
like I was thinking about reading it.
The show turned me off to the book.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that anymore.
You don't care.
We
I
we,
don't care.
we decided not to go back to that because we are watching other things and other things happen, but
So we do this really funny thing when we both agree a show is not good. Is
and we just don't
never
go
mention
back.
it again.
Yeah.
We never bring it up again. Like
I was like, we're on episode 4 of this. I'm like, oh my God, we have like 6 more to watch. I was like, you want to watch it? I was like, no, for what now? Like, there's no point. I don't care.
we might not even do that. We'll like go through what we've been watching.
Yeah.
And we're like, what are we watching now? Are we caught up on this? And I think we both subconsciously know, like, yeah, there's that one show.
I think the one that me and you were most excited was seeing, well, it's hard to say seeing, but C from HBO, I think it was, or Apple.
Yeah.
So that was the one that I think we were super excited because we were like, it's Friday. Like, the new episode
What show?
The movie, the
C.
show C with Jason Momoa.
Yeah. It has like 3
Oh,
seasons
okay.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that show was actually
That show was like really good.
well, okay, Rosanna.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Hola.
Well, I want you to go first because I don't want to say the same shows because unfortunately you keep stopping me from watching shows I want to be without you. Hey, what have you been watching, listening, or reading recently?
So there's this new this is documentary that I think I was started watching or I finished watching. It's called I think it's called White Savior on HBO. Or this is talk about like the white savior complex that people go into Africa and they actually try to help a lot of people in the community, but then like try to benefit and like take money from them or take help. Yeah, it's like this whole thing.
Evil motherfuckers.
Evil motherfuckers. And then on a lighter side, so on a lighter side, I watch The Masked Singer, and I found out that the cow, spoiler, is coming up. Neo.
What?
Yes,
We
he
thought
was the
that.
cow.
We guessed it.
Yes, and you actually guessed it right away because when they said Usher and Neo and I said a couple other people like Mario or whatever, you were like, that's Neo. And I was like, bullshit. You don't even know.
I heard the voice and I was like, that's Neo.
He has a very distinct voice.
And you know that he was actually hiding it. Like he was actually not.
They made a cow female.
You know how he goes, whoa, like he does like this weird whoa thing in his thing. Did you guys hear that? I sounded fantastic.
Focus.
Anyways, focus, you're right. So then you knew because you heard keys of how he actually sings a song, and then he was Neo. The cow was Neo. He dressed as a female cow just to throw
Oh my
everybody
God.
off.
Yeah, to throw people off.
And then the way that when he was doing a dance, like he would completely change how he normally does his little kick. That you know, the little kick, the Neo kick that he does. He took that out so people wouldn't know that it's him.
Yeah.
But Robin guessed it right away. He was like, "That's Neo." You too. You heard him once.
I heard him one time. I was like, Neo? I'm like, because little.
He was like midway song, and he's like Neo, and I was like,
behind
Nobody knows. It was like episode 4.
Listen, a little bit behind the veil. Like I used to rock Neo. Like I used to listen to Neo all the fucking time back in the day because he was it. He was the hit.
He made a lot of great songs, and he written a lot of good songs for
Yeah.
other people.
And
he sung one of the Rihanna songs.
Oh,
I think he
shit.
wrote a song for Mario too.
He wrote
Let Me
Mario,
Love You.
Beyonce, yeah.
One of my favorite things about Neo was I knew who he was, but when they were talking, someone interviewed Jay-Z back in the day, you know, because he was the it guy, and they're like, oh, any artists coming out that we should be aware of, blah blah blah. He was like at a red carpet, and they were expecting a rapper, they're expecting anything. He's like Neo, and like the R&B singer, yeah. He's like you don't fucking know what you're in store for, and he like just that quick statement just put him immediately at like the top searched artist and shit like that.
Wow.
And I didn't know how much he had been fucking doing for everyone. He'd been writing so much music. Him and The Dream.
He literally
yeah.
he literally said on The Dream, in The Mask Singer, that he gets Grammys for things that he can't not walk across and be announced that he won that Grammy.
Yeah.
Like he's won multiple Grammy for writing, for number ones of whatever, like helping other people. But there's a lot of Grammys that he has that he wasn't able to say thank you X, Y, and Z and like walk.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't that important of a topic, but he won Grammys.
He's won a ton of Grammys for like, just writing.
Yeah, just writing.
I think he was. I might be wrong. I'll check later. But he might have won a Grammy first for writing for other bigger artists before he even was like had an established real following for himself.
True, that would make sense.
Which is sad and great.
Yeah.
I mean, but also fucking.
I mean, isn't all the money in songwriting anyway?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Producing.
Like literally producing.
He's smart about it. He did all his songwriting, all his producing. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking step in the front. My time to shine. Got all my money saved up. They can't play me because I'm not a new artist.
That just reminds me that 3 6 Mafia has an Oscar.
That's right.
For Hustle and Flow.
Well deserved.
Well deserved.
Rosanna, what else have you been watching that is not The Masked Singer? But
no, so then I obviously do a lot of podcasts. Like I obviously listen to the updated episode of Bourbon and Bullshit on Friday. And then pew, pew, pew. And then I always watch. I listen to also Smartless, and they actually had Arnold Schwarzenegger on.
what?
Bro, they had Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he did Get the Chopper.
Oh my god!
Actually,
I can't wait.
I'll be back. Like he actually did it because he was like, yeah, every single time that I'm in like in the coffee line, somebody's like, Get the Chopper.
Get in the chopper.
Get in the chopper. So it was pretty funny. But I think like that's another. They interviewed him and he was like talking the whole time. That man got nothing else to do. He retired as fuck.
He's retired as fuck.
Do whatever he
He
wants.
can do whatever the fuck he wants.
At this point in his life, he's only doing side missions. Like at this point, he's done everything. I want to be the
Like he
number
wrote
one
a book.
He wrote a book.
He wrote a book. The documentary on Netflix, everybody should watch. It's fantastic.
Is it about his affair or is it about him?
They glimpse.
Oh my god!
Glimpse over it, and they actually show the kid.
Oh, he
When
looks a lot like him. Like a Hispanic Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yo, you thought the same thing? I thought
Yeah,
he was hella
exactly.
Hispanic. But the mother was Latina.
Mexican. There's a Mexican housekeeper.
I'm curious about something.
Get to the chopper!
Yeah.
Get in the job. Yeah.
No, we were watching a documentary. Well, I watched it in passing
In
because
background, yeah.
my significant other was just watching it with my roommate, and
Yeah.
afterwards I'm like, you don't think me, who likes to lift weights and loves Conan the Barbarian as one of my favorite movies growing up, would want to watch the Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary? He's like, well, you can join now. It's like, no, I
know,
will
we're
not
like
take your pity invite.
Come
to
sit
this
down,
documentary.
afterthought.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this?
First of all, I had no idea.
In my own house?
First of all, I had no idea that documentary was going to be fantastic.
In my own house.
Second of all,
In my household.
I didn't. I
pay for the
apologize
Netflix.
for not knowing information number 2. And third, once I'm in a documentary, baby, I can't stop.
Oh my god, you're just like Matt. Matt
can't
is the exact same
stop.
way.
Like if I'm on episode 2, like baby, you need to catch up because I can't stop. It's like a train, and I'm like on episode 10, and I'm just like crying at the end.
but-
You're committed.
You're crying at episodes.
Oh, it's usually like 5 episodes, but by the end, I'm like thinking about life.
It's always funny watching movies
Crying.
with Rosanna because I could tell when she's about to start crying.
Oh no.
She like puts a
He
blankets up to like her face.
does.
Oh
I
yes,
am-
Or she, like,
I
covers her
walked out
face.
on her. A few times when I used to live here, I'd come out. Rosanna's sitting on the couch, all bundled up, and she's really into something. She's crying, like, "Are you okay?"
And I'm like, "Yes, I'm
there's
fine."
this child in this movie.
And she would
It's
catch me
really
crying.
sad. It's a really sad story.
Savannah,
You should
know what I'm
watch
talking
it.
About. We cry about everything. We cry about everything. Listen,
But she'd just be in the dark
I'd
in
be
the
in
blanket.
the dark in the blanket, like underneath, like please don't look at me. I'm ugly crying. 5
Like I'm
minutes.
just gonna go now.
I
Let
can't
me have
stand-
my moment.
That's always fucking funny.
And I
watching
shed
movies with her.
tears.
She's just, I'm like, relax.
I know. I can't help it.
Anything else that you've been watching mysteriously or behind my back? I mean, huh?
No, that's it.
So one of the shows we've been watching that Rosanna will not mention, but I will. We've just been watching Reacher.
Yeah.
Reacher
Oh,
season
okay.
2 is
We
back
just
on.
started that, yeah.
So, and the thing that I've realized about some of these actors, I think we saw them like, this is just random. Remember Chris Hemsworth from the first Thor?
Yes.
And then randomly in the second Thor, he was stacked. More stacked than before. Like,
Yeah.
insanely
like
stacked.
hella
Yeah.
big.
And somehow we're supposed to just expect that, like, he just, it was just normal. Reacher did the same thing, where and now that he's older, somehow twice as big.
Somehow he decided to double the amount of
Steroids. This man is, and then just really, really tan. Look, I'm not here to judge you. If I could get steroids and get all the shit to make sure,
like his neck, like literally is like I don't even know, like 8 inches long. Like it's just
I've seen the
physically
promos.
impossible. Like
Yeah, he's a big dude.
He's a big dude. Like
Was he
they-
on Blue Mountain State?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was.
As
Yeah.
he was Thad.
Yeah, Thad.
Yeah, he was really funny.
He was actually fucking fantastic on that. I
Yeah,
missed that show.
it was
so
a funny
much.
show.
But to
And he
watch
was on Titans. He was on like a bunch of good shows until he got Reacher.
Hey,
Sorry.
you already won.
Sorry.
But Reacher, she's more interested in the show about him physically than anything else.
No.
But the show is actually really, really good, and he's doing a better job. Season 1, he was weird about how he was trying to be serious. Like, you can tell he was like forcing it a little bit sometimes, because Reacher's a very straight and narrow, like ex-army, special investigations officers, like special officers, all the shit. Very specific. Like, I don't carry anything with me. I keep a toothbrush. That's it. Because anything, if
Total
I keep
badass, huh?
I guess he's just wandering. He's
With a
just like,
toothbrush.
well,
that's important.
His thing was that he was
Hygiene
it
is very
feels like
important.
it's like a cage, like not having the freedom to walk around and do what you want. Anything that confines you and traps you into a point is a cage. And it's a very extreme point of view, but I understand it. You can't just leave your house because it's your house. You own it. It's your name on it. You're gonna have to owe someone. You're gonna have to do something about it. There's
It's
responsibility.
public
there.
records of all
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
If all you do is travel around with a toothbrush and the pair of clothes that you have, you really have no ties to anything and no obligations. So you can just do whatever the fuck you want.
You know what that is? Like never updating. Like going to the beach. Like stopped at Publix. Like
Why are you telling me we stop in the Publix online?
I don't know. But a lot of people do that on social media. They're like, "Got my Publix
do
today,
you?
and here's
Because
the
that's
bug."
a-
I don't do that
Good,
because that's
a great
expensive.
way to get robbed.
Right.
Right.
Like, that's a
I
really
know.
good way. It's like, oh, well, this bitch ain't home. Hold on.
I know. No, I know. I 100% agree. That's why I'm like, how are you always posting this? Like, you must live in an apartment where nobody gives a shit.
I never understood why people would post their shit like, oh, I'm on vacation for the next 2 weeks to Europe. Well, now I know what house to go to.
Yo.
Yep.
That's why I don't do
post
that
any of my
shit.
stuff
I don't
until I'm
post
back.
nothing, bro. Can't trust no money.
Moving forward. But aside from that, I keep enjoying. So a good buddy of mine, Jesse, put me onto a new podcast.
Hola,
where-
Jesse.
Hey, buddy. Even though you were in town and didn't hang out with me. Listen, it's a horror podcast. I'm trying to find the name of it, but it's walking through this guy who's kind of losing his mind, and it feels like he's becoming like. It's called Mordeo, Eat or Be Eaten. It is something on iHeartRadio, which shouts to them. But the show's actually, so far, it's a season finale. Angel, it's a horror podcast. Everyone puts me out to horror podcasts, and I will
It's
listen
like
to every single
one long story all season long.
one long
Okay.
story all season long. The only thing I don't like about it is some of these shows are hidden behind paywalls, which
So you can't access the next episode unless you.
not all of them.
Okay.
Like not this one in particular. This one is only 10 episodes, and so far it's been fantastic. But I was listening to this story called Restart, and that one, the end of it was behind a paywall where you had to like join this specific service to be able to listen to it. It was like, why did you?
Oh,
do
like
So
Shudder
you
or
motherfuckers
something.
like fantasy shit then.
that? Huh?
You motherfuckers like fantasy shit.
I like horror shit.
Me
Okay.
too. I listen to
Yeah.
horror podcasts usually.
Yeah, listen up. You listen. Don't look at me like that.
I'm not judging. This is not eyes
I've
of
straight up
judgment.
walked into this household, and you're
You
watching the most
you've
murderous,
seen my eyes
angry.
of judgment. That was not eyes of
But I'm saying,
judgment.
I've walked into this household, and you're watching. It was like, and on a 6, he chopped up her arms, and then he went to work and killed Stacy, and it was like, that's the craziest shit. And I watched some werewolf shit. You look at me like, That's the perfect time. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick water break, guys, and when we get back, we're gonna go ahead and pour up some interesting Blood Oath Pact number 9. Be right back. Hey guys, while you're listening to the show, we know that you might want to partake in some drinks with us and enjoy the libations. Here at Bourbon and Bullshit, we ask that you drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive, avoid Amazon one-click buy, and for the love of God, do not text your ex. You do not need that kind of closure. They've moved on, so should you, Joseph. You should stop Facebook stalking. She knows. She knows. Now, all jokes aside, don't do anything dumb, take care of yourselves, and be safe. Thanks, guys. Now back to the show. All right, guys. So today we are going to be pouring up a very different bottle than we have in a while. We've always featured things from the Buffalo Trace Distillery, Woodford Reserve, or some of these well-known distilleries. So today we will be featuring a very unique bottle called, whatever you would like to say, Blood Oath, Pact number 9. Now, I am one who does have a special affinity for the macabre and dark, and maybe I was attracted to this bottle because of the name. You're right. But this bottle itself is coming from the Lux Road Distilleries, something that we haven't featured many bottles from before. So if you ever see bottles such as Lux Row, Rebel 100, Ezra Brooks, and a couple of these other notable brands, including Blood Oath, check them out. They do have some quality products. Now, what makes Blood Oath Pact number 9 unique, this is a 2023 release. This bottle, from the website itself, it says it's a masterful union of 3 well-bred rye bourbons. 1, an oaky 16-year-old, 2, a luscious 12-year-old, and 3, a 7-year-old finished in Spanish Oloroso sherry casks, which carries the aroma of sweet sherry while satisfying the palate with dark fruit, molasses, chocolate, and tobacco. Tobacco sounds kind of gross, but this is something that almost always goes synonymous with the world of bourbons. This is going to be a unique little pour. A little bit more detail about this specific bottle of Blood Oath. This bottle is 49.3% alcohol by volume, a little bit sweeter, softer than what we have typically featured on the show, giving it a 98.6 proof. This should be a little bit more malleable or tolerable for the ladies today. Hopefully they enjoy. Now, Blood Oath is a very young run in the grand scheme of things. And so the first bottle released was in 2014, about only 9 years running. And what makes this bottle or this line is unique is that it is a blended bourbon. So the creator of the Blood Oath, John E. Rempe, hopefully I didn't mispronounce his name, has been tasked with making a blend every year of unique whiskeys / bourbons from multiple distilleries. He is not bound by one distillery. So no one knows where he's getting all his well-bred rye, but this is a very unique bottling that most people won't ever be able to replicate. And they are sworn to secrecy, or aka a blood oath, that they will never divulge those secrets. I think that storyline is a little unique, a little fun, and hopefully we enjoy this bottle. All right, guys, stay tuned. All right, so we are already going to have my lovely fiance, who should have already been pouring these up.
Howdy.
Pour these up for the group. And if you guys didn't already know, we are joined by a live studio audience. Shai's husband,
Hello, hubby.
Canada, as I like to call him, Matt, is in the back just kind of enjoying the show.
No, he's not Matt, babe. He's Mateo.
Mateo.
He's now
Dominican household.
He's in the Dominican household. Mateo.
Mateo, and he's enjoying himself in my Secret Labs chair. Not a sponsor, but going to enjoy it. So Shai, I also gave her a little bit of a cocktail to kind of loosen her up a little bit because I know that she's had a long time since she's drank with us, and kind of just get her right to go. As Rosanna is pouring these up, Shai, how you feeling?
Good.
You kind of nervous?
Yeah, not as much after the few drinks.
Good. You see, that was the point. So I'm assuming Rosanna's going to give you the tiniest of one.
I did.
Yeah, because that's who Shai is. But I do think that it's an interesting idea that this one is blended and it's a secret, super secret, and no one could know what's actually inside of the bottle, which is weird because shouldn't you want to replicate something that turned out good? But I guess the man who made it is going to be able to do so.
Exactly.
All right, so now that Rosanna's done making the Instagram-worthy images, we're going to go ahead and pour this up and drink up. And Shai, since it's your first time having it, you're going to be the one who's going to tell me how you like it.
All right.
Lego.
Lego. Cheers to
Cheers.
California loving.
California loving.
Mateo.
From our primos.
Oh, she made a face, guys. Ooh.
Ooh, wow. It is very strong.
Really?
Wow.
Do you really think
100%.
Hot diggity
What was
dog.
that, 98%?
98%.
God damn.
Hot
Yeah.
diggity dog.
We should tell our listeners that
Esto
Shai is
pica.
not really a traditional drinker like us.
No, but, you know.
Even Rosanna made a
Yeah,
face.
I mean,
okay.
don't know.
It is
She
very
got a
strong.
bite.
She got a bite?
Yes.
got a
And like I could
bite.
feel like the
Yeah.
scent or something
She
fucking
bait.
fire coming out of my mouth after.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Mateo's in the back just
Mateo,
enjoying it.
you feel a burn? It's warm.
Matt has a little
Yeah.
Kentucky hug going, so he
Yeah.
actually already finished his drink.
Hot damn. These Canadians, bro. We let them into our land, and they're like, "I love you, bourbon."
So, Shai, you don't like? Do you like the flavor at least, or is it just fucking just straight?
It is very sweet after you take your first sip. It's just damn like.
Yeah, she got a bite instantly.
Strong.
Like once you,
and I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I know. Although I do like the subtleness afterwards. Like it doesn't like sit for such a long time and like gives you like a bad burn. It finishes really sweet. Like she's like coming in hot. And then she's like, you know what? I'm just going to sit and cuddle. Like, that's literally what it felt like.
It's a Latina woman in a bottle.
Yeah. It's a Latina woman in a bottle. Men, you're welcome.
I don't know, man. It hurts. Listen, but that sweet aftertaste you're tasting is the sherry finish to it all.
Okay.
So it's finished in the sherry's overall a sweet, like, dessert wine. So you end up getting that sweetness of that barrel.
No wonder. Because it's like an attack at first. And then you're like, wait a minute. I think I want to drink it again, and then attack.
What's cool about this is so typically when you're speaking about like I want an older older bourbons or whiskeys are a lot more expensive. This being a blend and it has a 16-year-old bourbon in it or whiskey in it is high up there in quality. So getting it mixed with the 12-year, the 16 and 7 is the way they can kind of like refine it and get that unique taste.
Right.
So you had the sweet finish. You've tried it again. How is it now?
Same. It is got a big bite to it. Yeah. And then it settles down. But ooh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Rosanna.
It's the same way. Like I went back again. Like she ain't that mean, right? We always go back. Like
it can't have been that bad.
There's changes, right? We can make changes, and then it's like, no, oh my God, you're the same.
Matt,
literally, that's what it feels like.
Matt, from the distance, how do you feel about it?
Oh, of course.
No burn, no fucking like.
Yeah, it was warm. It's warm going down.
And he's rubbing his chest, by the way.
Yeah, I wanted to give him a microphone, but he refused. He's like, nah, I just want to sit here and enjoy and bask in the ambiance.
He wants to be our live audience.
But
flavorful? You think it was flavorful? Yeah.
Yeah, he says flavorful, so he at least approves. I think. So I'm gonna give you the description of what they put as tasting notes.
All right.
Okay, so let's just point out that Matt is like a burly man, right? So like he literally like likes this drink because it is life. It's like he's like, you know what? I'm burly. I'm grown. Okay. This is the kind of drink I like.
You remember when I knew Matt?
Versus me, I'm like, oh my God, this is
I've known Matt since he was a child. He was a baby.
Yeah.
I love this family. All right, so what comes up as tasting notes: ingredients: corn, rye, barley. We already know that. Appearance: dark, a deep dark amber with long legs. I guess cool. Aroma: sweet sherry with hints of ripe fruit. The palate this is where I'm curious if you guys aligned with it at all. Obviously, probably not because it burnt you. It says the melody of ripe fruits, including figs, plums, and raisins, with notes of molasses and chocolate.
Oh
wow.
my God,
really
that's
sweet.
That's what that tart taste.
Tart or sweet? I feel like you might.
Molasses is sweet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't know. Maybe the cherries are tart. There's like a tart taste to it.
It didn't say cherries in it. It says plums and raisins.
Yeah, but isn't cherries tart sometimes?
But there's no cherries in it.
Huh? Dig it out. I don't know what it is.
So they're not describing a cherry. Obviously, everyone's palate's different. So you could get a
100%.
cherry feel and taste that someone else might not. Everyone's palate's different. We talked about it before in the show. Like I'm not an expert by any means, and there's motherfuckers running out there like I
smell
taste
the elegance
cherry
of-
oak wood that's probably aged 5 years.
It
like
seems
what
like
the
the
fuck?
barrel age is.
Is it talking to you?
Yeah. The person will like drink it and be like, their mother hit them.
You know, like yeah, I know.
You tasted that? Like,
I taste 7 years of pain.
like this.
Like,
the
wait,
man who
what?
made this had night terrors. I don't. This is.
I completely do not understand.
It's
But
like
I
some
will
fucking
consume again.
palate medium type
Yeah,
of shit.
I'm
Like,
just like, what's happening?
meanwhile, I'm like, I like this a lot. But overall, it's not bad. It's something I liked. Shai, there's a game we play on the show.
Oh, here we go.
How much do you think this bottle cost?
I want to say
In the
like
fancy box and everything.
200.
200?
Oh, look at you.
Is it because of the fancy box?
Yeah, the box.
If it wasn't for the box, how much would you think the taste?
Like if you were buying
How much the taste cost?
Mhm.
like $5.
Oh my God! Is that what you think it's worth?
Goddamn, Rosanna.
I don't
let
know.
her
homie.
answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Damn, I wasn't gonna go as
Nah,
low as
you-
5.
like
Like,
five- like $5.50?
decent price.
Like $5.50?
50, 80,
Jesus.
something like that.
All right. No, the bottle costs $139.99.
Ooh,
Typically, it
dang.
could go upwards of $299, depending on where you find it, because it's an 8-year blended and it's limited release. Pact 9 will never come out again.
Oh wow, cool.
So every year, so kind of when I talked about in the intro of it, since it's been coming out since 2014, every year is different. It's a different blend. He still won't tell you what it is. So he's had those runs. So Pact 9 will be replaced by Pact 10, and we'll never get Pact 9 again.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, there's a very, very limited series and very, very limited amount of bottles made.
Yeah.
Once they're gone, they're gone.
But you know what? I must say that the bottle itself is super cute. Like, a lot of people don't do like squared or rectangular.
That's actually
A lot of
true.
people do like more like rounded edges or like something that.
Yeah.
But this looks like a book. Like you read it and you're like, wait a minute, what am I reading? You're
Real
trying to
talk,
understand the bottle.
That's actually really interesting because I didn't notice that, but that is probably part of the unique brand of it.
Yeah.
And of course, the box is pretty cool.
It comes in a wooden box, y'all, and it's literally like stained in like in the wood. It says Blood Oath, so it's a pretty cool
burned
box for
in
it to
and
sit
stuff.
in. Yeah.
But guys, then we're gonna get to the fun part now that Chai's been drinking a little saucy,
I've been drinking.
and
I've
Rosanna
been
apparently has
drinking.
also been drinking. Like we're gonna start asking
I've
some of
been
the questions.
sipping.
So I sent everyone questions in advance, and now I'm gonna switch it up just a teeny tiny bit,
Oh, here we go.
just to throw her off.
Oh, man.
So we're gonna first start with that's bullshit.
Oh.
Share a crazy news article or story that's going on right now. Chai, you were been tasked with this. What crazy news stories have you seen?
You looking for something a little light, or
Give us both, bro.
Give you the dark stuff.
Give us a dark.
How
stuff.
about the dark stuff, and then that way I can lighten it with the light stuff.
Oh, I want
Well,
both.
the light thing is also not a good thing, but it's like
You know when someone asks you, do you want the good news or the bad news? You always say the bad first, so that way the good is like
That's how
somewhat
you-
of a
It's like the
subtle
little sweetener
blow. Yeah,
after.
it's like a sweetener
That's
after
the
you're
order
like,
you go in.
nah, that was fine. That was fine. The bad news was fine.
I don't know. I go with the bad news. I go with the good news first.
No, I go with the bad news first. Like just tell
so
me
you
what-
want to be happy and then disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. I
look,
prefer to be disappointed
I'm
than
Dominican
happy.
with a bunch of women in my life. I'm used to the disappointment.
Oh my
If
god!
anything.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
All right,
Chai.
so
Chai.
I'll start with the bad
Chai, we
for
have to move
Rosanna.
out. Chai, we have to leave.
Lots of crazy stuff happens in California, but there was a news article like I want to say it came out maybe like a month ago by now, but it's like kind of a conspiracy, but 4 different sheriff's office like officers were found dead of apparent suicides within like a 24-hour period.
Wait, what?
Yes. So it was really bizarre. Like
Just in like 4
in our town, yeah. Like in our town, we live in Santa Clarita. And then, like, all around in the area, they were finding sheriff's officers who, like, somehow they all killed themselves. And
6
people are
of
wondering, 4 in a 24-hour period.
Cuatro?
Yes.
Dios mío.
So, like, basically, the ambulance is riding around, from one cop's house to another, like, all day.
To see if they're alive?
Yeah, I follow this, like, no, just like, they get a call for another one. I was like, that's weird. Like, this guy killed himself too, and he works for the police. Like, so it was. It's this page on Instagram for our town that shares like all this kinds of stuff, and people are on there. It's like, oh, that's really weird. Like, some of these guys work together, so it's very
But
odd.
how
It's
did
like
you guys feel about that? Like being in the town that was happening in?
definitely very weird and concerned. It's like, something big gonna come out. And you want to pay, you pay closer attention to the news article. So far, nothing else has come out of it,
There's nothing
but
connected so
Yeah,
far.
there's nothing.
they're saying they're totally random suicides
That just happened
that just
in
happened.
the same exact town.
Yes,
Like, guys,
for
you
people
never
who
know
same
what's
day.
happening in your own town.
Listen, this sounds like the beginning of an Amazon
Yeah, this sounds like you're
series.
talking about another show. We're back at square one.
I'm like, what the fuck? So no information's come out since. Like,
None.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And was it all different ways or the?
The article is never specified. They just said suicides.
Mm.
So it makes me wonder if it was like, suicide, 2 shots back to the back of the head, something like that.
Or somebody going around killing these specific people.
Or some kind of, they were all going to get busted for some big conspiracy.
And they all kill like a murder suicide.
right, like they
a-
couldn't handle their
Yeah.
to face
Is
their
it what is
crimes.
it? Murder suicide? Like when they do it like no, it's like
I kill you, then I kill myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, murder suicide.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah. This what happens
To
when
use
you've
that
been drinking,
example.
Oh
Everybody.
my god, this is wow. We're starting here.
Yeah. I
We
told
use
you,
examples
dark.
of our own body.
So
On our lighter side, everybody's losing our dogs in our community.
what the fuck? We're going. Chai, well, I don't know what to do with that. Chai, what's the lighter side of your random news articles?
The
'Cause I
lighter
can't help but
side?
think that that's related. Like they must have done some shit, found out like internal
Yep.
investigations. I made up a whole story in my head where
Oh
they
yeah,
found out some
everyone was
dirt.
like, the town was like, everyone was wondering like, what is happening? Like, what's going on? Pay attention to the news, like something big coming out. But
What's the lighter side?
as
Yeah.
far as the lighter side, I was
Somebody's
showing
selling
Matt
ice cream
this
somewhere.
morning.
The what was that?
Somebody's selling ice cream
What
somewhere.
did you say? Like, what did you say?
I showed Matt this video this morning on Instagram, of course, about a rogue wave came onto the street, and also again California, near where we live, like a place we've been to a million times. It's like 40 minutes from us. Like this wave, like just completely was like on the street. You see all these people running. Matt was laughing his ass off when I showed him.
Wave of
A
water?
wave, a rogue
Why?
wave from the ocean. There's these houses, like it's houses, then the beach, like so really nice properties. But the wave came up, like breached the sand, breached the wall. It went really far.
What the
8
hell?
people
What is
got
happening
injured.
in California?
Crazy shit happens there all
Every
the time.
day.
All the time.
I don't know how I feel about California.
And I'm worried about seeing deers when I see them in the morning. I'm like, oh no, deers. She's
Imagine
like,
a
so
wave.
it's like
Deer
a
leaving
whole
your,
wave.
your house the other night.
Yeah, there was a deer. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Bro, I walked the dog.
And like over there, they're like, waves are coming.
Like, that's scary. How do you even call your insurance company? Hey, so I
So
have
this
to
should
file,
happen again, and it's like Tuesday.
I have to file a claim for my car. Oh, what happened? It's soaked. It's underwater.
Yeah.
What? There's no floods. No wave hit it.
Random
It's
wave.
a random wave.
Don't
Like
you have your car in the
random
garage?
afternoon
Yeah.
showers, random waves.
Yeah, ma'am. Listen, like a State Farmer, good. like
State
good-
Farm is there.
Like a good neighbor. State
Not a
Farm is
sponsor,
there.
but you can be.
Rosanna, what about you? What random or crazy story has come up with you?
Nothing. I don't know, because I really don't watch the news or anything like that. I'm like not big on news, so I don't really know much that can be popping. Every single time our little Alexa Echo says something kind of new and random, I'm like, wait, what? So I kind of read that. Like when Matthew Perry died, I didn't know Matthew Perry died, and I read it on
You
like
didn't know he died
at the
until-
time, like
Okay.
you know, like you know how the news cycle is. Like something happens 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you would know. So apparently he died like a day ago, and I was like, no.
At that
And
time.
then at the time, and
Okay.
then I saw it on the thing. I was like, oh, okay, good to know. I mean, besides that,
Yeah,
you
right.
know, that's the best example. But I try not to.
Get to know.
The news make me sad, and I just prefer to watch happy dogs eating like apples on Instagram. I prefer that,
Well,
and that's how I learn what to feed my dogs. Apples.
apples, because
Yeah.
Alexa tells you to.
Yes.
All right.
I don't like to watch things. I like to watch puppies eating food.
Wasn't there something about these twins and triplets that you were talking about earlier?
Yes, that's a documentary, and then also our roommate Dave brought up that these twins apparently they lived the same life, and then they found each other later on in life, and then come to find out they named the kids the same, and they were like grandkids the same, and like their wives like the same lady named Linda, but like twice like. That's like this whole thing. But the one that I saw on Hulu was the one about 3 identical triplets that found each other in life, and then like one of them like a secret, like he was like a murderer or something. The fuck? Murder.
So
Things like that. I'm a big documentary junkie. Like I like to see things like in time frames versus learning things in real time.
you want it all at once?
I want it all at once. I want news articles. I want like podcast interviews. I want like everything. Like people interviewed, and it's like, this is what happened to me. Oh, perfect example. Bad Surgeon on Netflix.
I've
About
seen that
Dr.
one.
Paul Macchiati, that he made like that fake plastic tube for your trachea, and he killed like 4 people, and one of them is
Oh,
alive, but
shit.
he's like breathing machines.
It's crazy.
And I think I don't know what podcast it is, but they literally made a podcast and then they made a show. Yeah, and then now Mandy Moore actually made a movie with this one Spanish actor that he looks like the other Spanish actor. I can't think of his name.
That's not specific at all.
Oh no, you're right.
Great.
You're right.
What's
But
the name of it?
anyways, so it's like rolling into
What's
this.
the name of the show?
Bad Surgeon, I
Okay,
think
I'll
it's
look
called. And then I think the other one is called Dr. Death for the podcast.
Oh, I've seen commercials for that one.
That's based on what Bad Surgeon is on Netflix. Dr. Death and Bad Surgeon is about the same doctor. And then the documentary and the Netflix show, Mandy Moore contributed to making a movie out of it. And I forgot the name of the movie, but it's related. Like Doctor something. I don't
Dr.
know.
Death.
Dr. Death. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Death. So it's disturbing that this medical person that only performed surgery on like less than the required time frame, and then like not even testing on animals, but he automatically did it on humans, and he killed like 5 of them.
That's
Jesus.
crazy.
Yeah.
Evil human being.
Not to bring down the,
Yeah, all these vibes are great vibes.
Yeah, so sad.
I
But
found-
it's a great documentary, I promise.
What the shit? Why'd you break into an accent?
Because they,
I don't know
they,
what's
they
happening.
speak in a lot of accents. In that. Because,
Oh my
I just
God.
want you to be surprised.
So I found the story about the twins separated at birth, find
Thank
each
you.
other, and discovered they've lived identical lives. So, 2 identical twin brothers, Jim Lewis and Jim Springer, Jim and Jim, born in 1940, were adopted by 2 super families as babies and took surnames, James and Jim for short.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these kids grew up 40 miles away from each other in Minnesota. Jim was aware that he was separated at birth, but Jim's Springer's mother had told him that his twin had died at death, so he had no idea that the guy.
Yeah, no idea.
So they were reunited at the age of 39, and their similarities, they had the similar haircuts. 2 men married wives with the same first name and had similar interests and hobbies. They did a similar job, and they each had a dog with the same name.
Yeah, it was crazy. They had a lot of similarities. I'm like, what the fuck?
As students, they both enjoyed mathematics and woodworking. The fuck? They had the same exact hobbies. Both twins' first wives were named Linda. And when they divorced them, they both married a second wife called Betty. So not only one wife,
God.
the second
They
one.
went from Linda to Betty?
Yeah, Linda to Betty at the same exact time. Jim was a chain smoker, suffered from migraines, and drove a Chevrolet. He worked as a security guard. The other Jim, his brother, was also a chain smoker, suffered from migraines, and drove a Chevy. He did a very similar job, and as he worked as a deputy sheriff. So both got into kind of some law enforcement type of security deal. Their paths crossed the first time as they discovered contact details of their identical twin. First time in 1979. Jesus, that is fucking weird.
That's dark.
Matt says it's a glitch in the system.
So Matt has a conspiracy theory that this is somewhat in the Matrix and they did not mean to make a clone and copy, and here we are.
Yeah.
But
Mistakes were
but
made.
he doesn't want to fucking get on the mic. I'm gonna keep doing this to you. Just a random weird story that I did see online, just because it made me laugh. Was police officers in Peru launched Operation Marvel, where they dressed up as superheroes from the Marvel universe for drug raids.
Wait, what?
What?
So you know how
It's
during a drug-
unhinged.
during drug raids, typically officers might cover their face to make sure no one shows up and finds them later and blah blah.
So I'm going to decide to wear a
Spider-Man costume.
Ventilado. Okay.
Oh my God, they got the
We
fucking best of
Spider-Man
did
costume or
that.
Captain America costume.
That's the choice
or
we made.
one of these instead of just a typical black ski mask. Could you imagine being high off like LSD or meth and you're selling drugs and fucking
Yeah.
Captain Peru kicks in the door?
Not good.
What the fuck is happening? With like an AK-47 pointed at you, or whatever gun. But that would be the most unhinged, crazy thing, and I don't understand how that would get away with that. But I just thought it was funny that you see this picture and these officers big ass smile wearing a full ass
Spider-Man.
Captain America outfit, just kicking in drug dealers' doors.
No, that's insane.
Like imagine being like, hey, imagine being an officer in America. Hey, chief, I have a suggestion for our next thing. It's like,
It's a great idea, I promise.
What is it? Now? What is
You know
it
when
now?
they say like I promise, I was like, what do you mean?
I promise you, just hear me out.
Hear me out.
Exactly.
Hear me
Hear me
out.
out. Oh my god! Fucking
You're like,
just-
hot diggity dog, this is gonna be a mess.
this would be a fucking hot, ragged mess. Well, that's all we have for that bullshit. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next question up because I think Shai might actually have some fun with this one. Ever since you moved to California, we've always wanted to visit. Tell us about if I were visiting California, if anyone was visiting California, what's a number one destination that people should go to? And if Matt wants to stand up and stand next to you and go into the mic and suggest something,
Yeah.
he's more than able
Yeah.
to. First, Shai, where would you take? Or what would you think is the best part of California to visit?
Honestly, for the people who have come out to visit us, we have gone to the Grand Central Market in LA. It's
is that?
basically like it's near what district? The Garment District. It's near the Garment District. It's really cool. It's got like a ton of different food, beer, sweets, like all the restaurants in there that we've had so far really good. There's this one Italian spot called Send Nudes.
Excuse me?
Send Nudes, but it's spelled Noods, like noodles. they
cute.
do like they make their own pasta. Like all the pasta is like
really
handmade.
cool.
It is delicious.
You know how hard it is to make your own pasta?
Oh my god, it was so good. Everything
I'm so
I've
glad,
gotten there
like,
is really
they come in
good.
box. I'm like, you know what? I can do this.
They have a Japanese spot that's really good. There is a Korean stand that sells like Korean fried chicken, and it's amazing. It's like that's the one thing I always get is from the Korean stand. And then they got this really famous like donut stand called Donut Man. They're famous for this glazed donut. They cut it in half. They stuff it full of strawberries with like some kind of jam and whipped cream. It's really good.
What in the name?
It's a lot.
That sounds
They
fun.
love donuts out there. We've noticed like barely any Dunkin' Donuts, but every other shop is like a mom and pop donut shop. Matt goes to this place called Pam's. On his like if he works overnight, best donuts ever.
Pam got it.
She got the donuts. She got the
donuts.
goods.
Pam got the
Matt,
donuts.
do you want to join us and tell us what you would suggest, buddy? He's doing the little old man thing.
So, fun fact about the donuts there. Every donut shop is like 90% of the donut shops in Texas and California, they're all from Cambodia.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. They migrated and started donut shops like it's the family business.
That's actually really interesting. I did not know that.
In Texas is the same. There's a donut shop on every corner, and the same in California.
And they make these donuts.
Yeah, donuts. That's their specialty.
That's insane.
But the Central Coast. The Central
Oh,
Coast
yeah.
is the only spot for
What
us.
is the Central Coast?
So like everything pretty much in between LA and San Francisco. Right along the coastline, it's this small, not small, it's vast highway. It's all what would you call it? What is it? Pacific US
Oh,
1?
the Pacific Coast Highway. It's really pretty. Like the nicest drive. You drive right along the ocean on these like cliffs. They do all the car commercials there. So if you see a car commercial, a car's driving on a beautiful cliff with the ocean nearby. That's Pacific Coast Highway.
That's actually pretty badass. I like that.
That's what Matthew McConaughey did his Lincoln commercial. 100% agreed.
He's done so many Lincoln commercials everywhere. I fucking love that man.
Yeah. We saw a car commercial being filmed too.
Oh yeah, in LA.
Yeah.
It's really really weird.
Was it Hyundai?
I don't remember the brand, but like the cameras
They'd
like,
love to
all
use
around it were really cool.
Why Hyundai?
Because they love to use back. Like if you ever look at a Hyundai commercial, it's all like sunny backgrounds. Like they're like nowhere near like the mountains, like Jeep is. Like
They're in the city.
They're in the city.
They
They're
don't
like,
have
you
the
know what?
budget for
I
the
like the
beach.
city life. I like the calm life. That's Kia or Hyundai.
When they're filming, like, just know the car that's being filmed. There's like 4 Porsches with steady cams.
What the
like
hell?
the rigs they have on the outside are.
That's actually pretty cool.
That is
super
pretty cool.
impressive.
I wonder how they capture all that scene.
Yeah, honestly, like any of the national parks there, Yosemite,
There's a lot of murder
Sequoias.
in Yosemite.
Sure.
Is there?
There's a lot of death.
You would know.
I
About
would.
that, no?
Where's that as the
Yeah.
in-house murder expert? Hey, babe, is this city safe? Well, I want to
I'll
see
Google it in a
3
minute.
documentaries on that one, so we're fine.
We're gonna pass on that one.
Just don't become the actual in-house murder expert.
Not yet.
Right.
All right, thanks, Matt, for joining us.
Thank you, man.
I
Did
love
you
him.
do?
He doesn't want to fucking get on a mic, but here we are. All right, guys. So before we take a quick break, just a real quick message from a good friend of the show. If I could get this up. Hold on. All right, so we'll be right back. We're going to take a break. And a message from our sponsor.
Sponsor of Bourbon and Bullshit, Big Bang Boom Collective is Orlando's burlesque and cabaret entertainment group, comprised of Midnight Fables Cabaret, Big Bang Boom Cabaret, and Foxy's Den. Follow us on Instagram at Big Bang Boom Collective, or join our VIP email list for info on upcoming shows by visiting www.bigbangboomcollective.com.
All right, guys, and we are back, and where my fiance apparently is slipping my cousin vodka in her glass. Not confirmed. Not confirmed, but that is what my cousin thinks is happening. So, Shai, one of the things that we loved and had in common growing up, which is always great, was that we loved media. We loved movies, TV shows, books. We were nerds together.
But damn.
Yeah, we were straight up. Like it was like I would watch a show and you already know all 14 actresses in it.
Yeah.
I would read a book and you're like, oh, this person also wrote this and this and this, and you were my Rain Man.
Yep. I was like Rain Man.
You were my living
It
IMDb.
literally was. You were like the background noise of like, no, that really did happen. This is the detail.
Oh my
You
god.
were my live-in IMDb, and I loved every moment of it. But
The
with that-
conversations were great.
yeah, because she would name me actors and actresses that you would easily
Like the Rolodex of Google. And like,
But
like,
here's she would name actresses and actresses that you know, like, oh, these famous actors you've seen in a bunch of movies, but you don't know their fucking names.
exactly.
And Shai would say, no, I know exactly who they are.
It's actually a habit that me and you have grown. So she left the house. We're like, we have to know these people's names because then if not, then
In real time, more than once, we would look at her while she lived here and like, who is that? What is it?
Yeah, I get that question a lot.
And it was always great. But it always reminded me of like, all right, so I'm curious about this because I don't think I ever asked you this growing up. Binge-worthy TV. So what was your favorite TV series growing up? Why? Does it hold up? Like, have you rewatched it since then? Have you introduced it to your kids? And what, or does it not? Is it fucking straight trash?
As a kid, I was really into Sailor Moon. It was like the perfect blend of like, oh, cute and a good story and like action. And it's super long, so obviously you got a lot of story there. But yeah, it definitely still holds up. It's a classic.
Have you showed your kids Sailor Moon yet?
I did to Matilda because she's really into like superheroes and she likes stuff with a lot of action. I think she's just a little bit too young for it. She's 5.
How old were you when you watched it?
Honestly, I don't remember. Probably a little bit older.
Yeah, it must have been.
You know, like being to be able to keep up with the storyline.
I might look up when
to
Sailor Moon
have
first
like
came out.
comprehension of like what was happening, because I felt the same way with Sailor Moon. It's like you see a
It
female.
came out in 1991.
Oh,
That's the year I was born.
The manga came out in 1991. Let me see when the show did. Keep going.
But yeah, no, it definitely holds up. It's a classic. It's got everything you need. Another one of my favorites was Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, you
Used to be obsessed with it.
So, for clarification, the first episode of Sailor Moon came out in November of 1994.
I definitely wasn't 3. I don't know. We must have gotten the like sub or the dubbed one. But like I maybe it was like 2nd grade and watching the
what
show.
A dub is?
Like they use voice actors to speak over the original like Japanese dialogue.
So Sailor Moon obviously is the anime. So on June 3rd, 2021, Sailor Moon Eternal became. Oh, that's something else.
That's a new one. I watched that one. I mean, still pretty good. Not as good as the classic, obviously.
So the dubbed version came out in 1995. Does that track with your age?
I would have been 4, so no. We must have just watched it late. Like they must have just put it on
saying,
if it was on Cartoon Network.
I feel
then
like you're just holding back Matilda from greatness, and that's my concern.
I mean, probably.
Do you feel like it still holds up? You feel like all that stuff?
Absolutely.
Really?
Sailor Moon, for sure. Dragon Ball Z, not so much.
Why not Dragon Ball
Because
Z?
as you get older, as a kid, you think, man, Goku's so cool. He's so strong. He's like
And then you
super
had your
nice. What a good
independence.
friend. Then you grow up and you're like, damn, this guy's a fucking deadbeat dad. Piccolo raised his son.
What the hell?
Like, he does not know a goddamn thing. Maturity is like Vegeta becoming your favorite.
I wonder. If
Granted, I've always liked Vegeta, but like, as
This
an
is why
adult,
she's
you
my favorite
appreciate
human
him.
being.
golly,
Can we
how
agree
the
that?
tables have turned.
No, we agree on this.
I know what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like becoming
growing
like
up.
when like as a child, like you see this character in anime, and you're like, oh my god, X, Y, and Z, and then you become an adult, and you're like, wait, this guy's a fucking piece of shit.
He's a bum.
He's a bum.
He's gonna go fucking kill himself
You know how,
again,
like,
get
many
resurrected.
children's dreams are
Well, like his son is
burnt?
graduating college.
Yeah.
Every time he's about to like be a normal dad, they're like, nope, I gotta go fucking fight this other. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Be a father.
Exactly.
You know what Vegeta was really good at? Being a father.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
eventually.
exactly.
So Rosanna, you don't know much about Dragon Ball.
I don't, because I don't watch anime. But
So Vegeta was a character initially brought in as a villain, but ended up making a life for himself on Earth. And at some point he started helping Earth's heroes, not because he really fucking loved everyone, but he's like, I have a wife now, and I care about this.
my
I care about this
God.
like planet and the people here, and all of you are fucking weak, pathetic human beings. So I need to protect you because you're dumb. So he was still doing the right thing, but being a dick about it the whole time.
hot diggity dog.
How he how he treated his wife. He loved the shit out
Oh
of her.
yeah, he was a great husband, great dad. Goku, on the other hand,
Would constantly
Basura.
I need to go train for like 7 years. It's like, your child is going to high school. You haven't even checked it. There's a green alien raising our baby. I need you to know that there's someone else picked up our
like
baby.
no wonder Chi-Chi was always so pissed off.
I would be angry
I was
too.
like, man, she's annoying. When I was a kid, I'm like, oh, I kind of get it now.
I understand. All he
As
does
an
is show up
adult, you're
and
like,
eat.
you know what? That makes sense. That tracks.
So Dragon Ball, you would not bring that over to Matilda and Hudson's
No, also like
Not
the
Hudson.
pacing of the show would, just it takes like 2 episodes for him to finish a fucking power up. It's like, come on, like get through it.
life. It's his way of avoiding being a dad.
And growing up in the
longer, hard
90s,
enough.
like commercials, you'd have to wait till next week, and it's like, all right, then they show the recap. You're like, okay, like I remember that, and then finally they show the episode. It's like 10 minutes long.
Oh
my god, you're so fucking right.
And it's like, okay, maybe next week he'll fight the guy because he's been powering up for fucking 2 episodes. So yeah, I don't think that one holds up as good.
Oh my god, that's actually really true. back before we had fucking streaming services, we would watch a show, wait a week.
Back to back.
Yeah, we'd
Yeah.
wait a week and
We'd
hopefully
wait a
we're
week,
around
yeah.
because we didn't control our lives. As a child, my mom could be like, hey, we're going to the store. It's like, no, Saturday morning cartoons.
So that's 100% why Prime is staying strong, because I think a lot of millennials can hold a week versus like a lot of people that are younger, like the Gen Z, whatever. Like they need like that.
Instagram.
It
The
needs
whole
to be
season
like
in one day.
starting in 2 seconds, and we're like, we can wait till Friday because that's literally was our life. Like we did cable, you had to pay for it, so you will hopefully watch it. Your friends watching it, so you can watch it in their house, or you have to wait a week. So
God
I don't
forbid
mind
you
waiting a
miss it
week.
altogether in the 90s with no DVR. It's like, oh, yeah, I gotta pray for reruns.
You gotta pray for reruns. Like 2 years later, you're like, oh my god, I can finally finish it.
I
The
know,
most
right?
frustrating thing is not knowing why suddenly one of your favorite
And you're like
characters is
episode
dead.
3.
You just
you're
gotta
like,
piece
what
it
the
together. Like, I'll
fuck?
catch up.
Yeah,
Like, what happened in Inuyasha last week? I hated that shit.
that's a lot of pain.
That is a lot of fucking pain. That brings up a lot of fucking points about like binge-worthy TV. And now, like,
Like our hidden trauma.
would you
TV
rather?
shows.
In fairness, to talk about binging, now that we get binge-worthy and binge television, and all that, are you the type that still rather watch a whole series in one sitting, or are you the person who wants to make it last?
See, I don't know, because it's nice to have something to look forward to every week, but at the same time, what if it's a disappointing episode and you just wait a whole fucking week? Now you gotta wait another one for the story to move forward.
True. So it's a filler. You're like, if it's a filler episode, you're like, this is fucking hot
yeah.
garbage.
Like filler episode, if you're binging it, if it's like something you're like watching back to back, you're like, oh well, I can kind of fucking just do other shit while this plays. Like I know what's going on. So yeah,
How many
I guess maybe
episodes
one
can you
sitting.
honestly say that to?
Yeah.
How many shows can you say that like you literally get up and go do dishes and like run errands or like do something else? And
Girl, you're
gonna-
watching TV in your car.
Oh, you really shouldn't.
I was about to ask. I was like, should I take a life insurance?
Like,
on you?
wait a minute.
Well, when I'm at work on my 30-minute break, I put on Hulu.
oh yeah, well that's good.
But you said running errands. I'm not.
I did
imagining,
say that, but
I'm picturing
meant,
Rosanna
like,
getting in her car, like, I'm gonna pop that up right there so I can watch my
line-
show.
I gotta
Like a
catch
line at
up.
Costco's just like next. Oh yeah. Hold my phone real quick.
Are you an iPad kid?
I actually saw someone at the gym today pull out a whole iPad with a magnetic back, put it on his treadmill, and he's like watching some shows.
What the heck?
And I'm like, I
A
get
lot of
it.
people need like
I get it.
Like you don't want to
stimulation
watch
from
what the
TV.
gym's putting on.
like I said,
True.
I understand.
I don't want to see another
get
girl
it.
squat.
I was referring to the other TV shows that are playing on the screens. And Rosanna's like, I'm not staring at other people's booties. No one is.
I mean,
No
I
one
thought
should.
I would.
No one should. No one should do that.
Oh, damn.
Gym etiquette.
Okay, true.
Fuck. But this dude pulled out a whole ass iPad, cleans it, puts it up on the monitor it was an elliptical, and I think he was watching like Scrubs or something like that.
okay.
Oh, that's a good show.
He was just watching like
You,
just
but he
reruns of
can't
some
wait
shit.
till he gets home to watch Scrubs on a fucking like he's gonna pull it out. He must have been desperate.
Yeah, I mean cardio's not fun, I guess, like to a lot of people. So for him, he might have been like, this
And
is the
to
only way.
watch Scrubs, like
That's
doing
a fun show.
cardio. That's
I guess you're tricking your brain like I'm watching a show. But
Yeah,
I'm
like
walking.
don't mind the pain in my legs. Like focus on
just
this comedy.
Focus on JD and
Yeah.
Eagle. But no other shows, anything like that. You remember going out there, you're like, shit, that was a really cool show. I would love it. Or even a side question: is there a show back then that you wish they brought back,
Ooh, that is a good one. I don't know. I'm not always a fan of reboots because it's like
or at least finished?
so at least finished. I know I can't think of any.
We can circle back. Think about it, and I'll ask Rosanna about her binge-worthy show growing
Okay.
up. Rosanna, what's your binge-worthy show that you did, like still holds, like that you used to love as a kid? Does it hold up still, or is it something that you're like, it's trash?
So the one that I don't think any of the ones that I watched were trash because they were very relatable to me as being like a Latin child, in a predominantly white community. And like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like I love that show. Family Matters touched my heart like big time. And then when they kind of like remade Fresh Prince, I didn't watch it because I like, unfortunately, the Will Smith.
Oh, why is it that bad?
Because of the recent, like him slapping people for no good reason. Not
Who
recent, that was,
cares?
like a year ago. Damn.
Hot ticket.
We are not. You put a pin on that. We'll go back. Do you not care?
I did not care that
sorry,
Chris Rock got
I
bitch slapped.
Oh my god!
Like, sorry.
We had this conversation so many times, and I don't want to do it again. Like, but we'll have it in a moment. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Family Matters.
Yeah.
Which one over the two?
Not one of the two.
No,
but
which one over the two? Which
that I
one's
would binge.
No, yeah, exactly. Which one would
Fresh
you binge?
Prince, 100%.
Really?
Because man, let me tell you, Hillary in those dresses. Hello.
Oh yeah, she
looked
had the best dresses.
fantastic.
And then Ashley when she got older.
Oh, when she got older,
Banks.
Banks,
Ashley
that's it.
Yeah.
Banks. Man, when she got older and then she got into high school, I was like, girl, I want to be you.
I love her outfits.
Yeah, they become really cute.
That show was actually really
So you see the
better.
evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was better than I remember it for me.
Mm-hmm,
Because I think there's certain nuances on that show that as you get older, you appreciate more.
Yeah.
Like even him just trying to be himself in an area that he's not used to. Even the,
Yeah.
the simplicity of I'm not from around here and I'm trying to like live my life and be who I am without causing such a ruckus. And Carlton constantly yelling at him for not fitting in. I'm like, holy shit, there's a lot of deep messages here where you're told to just assimilate and shut the fuck up. And he's like, nah, I'm me, bro. Like turning his jacket inside out.
Yeah. I
And-
guess
Yeah, there was a lot of good
Definitely see
moral
that.
values in
Yeah,
there.
when you're getting older, it's like you don't have to assimilate. Like the storyline is about a guy who refused to change who he was, regardless of the surroundings, and there being kind of a happy melding between the two. Like your roots were to Bel Air, your roots are Philadelphia, West Philadelphia, born and raised, and then you're in this new area where you have to kind of assimilate to someone else who's not you, and kind of finding a happy medium between the family. I think that's a really cool thing when you get older. So I could assume that.
Now, another show that I wouldn't say that I would binge, but I definitely watched from beginning to end when I was a child or I was a teenager or like a middle school, whatever. Was Sabrina? Yeah, some age. Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh yeah, that was a good
I
one.
love that show, especially the cat. Which,
Oh, Salem, he was so
Yes,
funny.
Salem.
He's such a sassy cat for no
Exactly.
reason.
So I would watch like Sabrina the Teenage Witch like all the time, and then Netflix made a reboot, which is
Ooh,
a
yeah.
fantastic.
I love
it's a
it.
fantastic reboot of Sabrina and Salem the cat. Is
Is he still sassy?
No.
No,
He's-
he don't talk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You don't
bullshit.
talk. I know.
Why are we doing this show?
He literally does like
He's just cute.
there. He's just cute, which honestly I kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so Sabrina on Netflix, the dark side is like it's actually really cool.
Original
shit.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which aired in 1996. It aired for 7 seasons.
No, that's not bad. I think I watched. I'm pretty sure I watched all 7 seasons. That's a good chance.
Someone brought up that recently Melissa Joan Hart played a grandmother on a movie.
What?
Yeah, it's like, thanks, Grandma. And it's immediately there's like, my heart. Melissa Joan Hart's a grandma now. My heart, oh God.
I can't do. I can't do
Like
with that.
what?
How old am I that Melissa Joan Hart is now seen as a grandma? She's 47 years old.
Damn.
And people are calling her grandma. I guess that's logical. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, I guess.
She could have had, yeah.
Kid, what? Could have had kids young.
Yeah, could have had, in that movie, she could have had a kid at 21, 22.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then what? Oh no, still, yeah, 25 would have been the kid. By now, they could have had a kid. They could be a grandma running around.
That's true.
Fuck, that math adds up.
that math.
That maths. We always bitch about, here in Bourbon bullshit, we bitch about when the math does not math. And here we are, mathing.
Mathing.
So, any other shows, Rosanna, that keep up?
No, I think those are. I mean.
Mira,
that's it.
coño.
Oh yeah, mira, coño.
Nothing else?
Yeah, no, that's it.
Really? I'm surprised by that. So I think we talked about it before in a recent episode where obviously the show Goosebumps is always slapped.
Oh yeah.
Are You Afraid of the Dark back in the day and Snick, which really crosses a lot of, brings back a bunch of memories like Saturday Night Nickelodeon because
Yeah. You always wanted to be make sure you were home for Saturday night.
that's what I'm saying. Like you couldn't just DVR it or fucking go run it back. You had to be there to watch Are You Afraid of the Dark, which fucking apparently
You know, no one would know that nowadays. Like
What?
to be home.
The
by
anxiety
9.
of not making it in time for your favorite show.
Exactly,
and
and then if you miss it, you're fucked because you're episode behind.
Yes. And fucking what the worst part is that our parents obviously were in charge of our lives. Like, so if my mom is like, "Oh, we're going to Betty's house or some shit," I do not want to. It is Saturday and I want to be watching Snick. She did not understand that. To this day, I still can't get it across to my mom that like online video games can't get paused, let alone that I had to be there to watch like X-Men on Saturday mornings because you're fucking it up for me, Mom.
Yeah, true. They never got that. Like, we're going to Theo's house. Why?
Yeah, why? I don't want to hang out with them. It's like she held you once when you were a baby. I don't fucking care.
So what? Now you owe her.
I owe her my
It's like
kidney.
I owe you.
But I think the show that really, obviously one of my favorite shows was Gargoyles.
Oh yeah.
That was a good one.
And yeah, they're so fucking good. And I think that show still slaps. Like I would watch the shit out of it now. And the funny thing is that show was only on for 3 seasons.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, I thought it was on significantly longer.
It felt longer. Well, like the episode's like an hour long because I remember
No.
sitting for a long time,
To-
like
to-
learning moral values from like the fucking gargoyles.
Some of the best quotes from that show that were from Xanatos, and I was like, "This is from Gargoyles."
Yeah.
Like,
Someone's like, what is that?
I feel like they taught me morale. Yeah, like I'm like, wait, what?
I ended up falling in love with like Shakespeare and stuff like that because of Puck and the King Arthur run, because they had this whole like couple seasons where they had Camelot and
Oh, that's right.
so I ended up finding out more about Midwinter Night's Dream and King Arthur and that whole like Fey area. I was like, this is
I feel like
really
they like
well
I
written.
feel like they tapped into like artistic kids that have like the imaginary thought of like what could happen, and they literally tapped into that
yeah,
with poetry, like and with.
I'm looking up my favorite quotes. And for Gargoyles, and one of them immediately is like, that's fucking fucked up. He says, if you pay a man enough, he'll walk barefoot in hell.
That's from Gargoyles?
That's Xanatos from Gargoyles.
Oh my god.
Episode 1.
The first episode?
Yes.
Damn. Like, we gotta let these people know what we're about.
I was like, God damn. Like, Xanatos, like, you're not fucking around.
Yeah, I used to
wonder.
watch that show with my mom. I'm like, what? Like that? They were saying that. She was really into it too. She still talks about it to this day.
I'm telling you, they were like spitting poem, bro.
It was a fucking really well done show from beginning to end, really well written. I know that the show eventually had like their other run where it was that they had the Stonebreakers, where it was basically the Klansmen like killing gargoyles. You do not remember that run?
I do. They like fucking take their little rope and climb up the building. And like, I'm gonna fucking smash you.
Bro, it was so fucked up. But the show, I think to this day, still holds up because it was so well written. There's underlying messages, and there's like that the outsider trying to belong and trying to assimilate and just trying to exist. Like, I mean you no fucking harm. I'm just trying to do right by you, and they're still treated like when they straight up made the Stonebreakers and made Klansmen. I was like, I know what the fuck you're putting down.
Oh my god.
Like, I know what Goliath is. Like, relax.
my God.
And why you're so mad that he's dating Elisa Maza. Right. Just chill, okay? This is fucked up. But I would watch the shit out of it. If they ever brought that back, I would watch every single moment. And there was always
Yeah.
that rumor that Jordan Peele wants to make a live action
Oh,
movie.
okay.
I
I
can
have
see him
heard
doing
like stories about possible remake, but I don't know. I thought it was more of gonna be more of a TV show than a movie.
If it is, I'll still watch the shit out of that too.
Yeah, as long as they do it right.
Yeah, exactly. And I that was one of the shows that like stood up, and I would still watch shows that do not stand the test of time. I would not watch over and over and over. I'm trying to think of like something that just couldn't slap, and I think Dragon Ball Z is a fucking great moment where you brought that up. I was like, that's right. I don't really know if I love that much. And then, because for me, it was afternoon cartoon shows were what I look forward to. I'm running home to watch Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. I'm running home to watch Aladdin. I'm running home to do all of those things, but it is what it is. So you don't really get, I don't know. Would I still watch that if it was binged? Because I think we have access to Gargoyles now, and I don't do it.
Yeah,
That's true, yeah.
So there's a certain level
Because it's a new hot thing, like something new, relevant, something else happening that like
but I'm saying, like, is there a
it
certain
doesn't
level of
allow you to go back.
Yeah, but is there a certain level of nostalgia? Like
nostalgia glasses.
yeah, like, is it
Skewing your
as good as I
perception.
thought it would be? Or am I as amped about the show as I thought that I would be willing to rewatch every single episode? And I don't know if that's honestly true. We talked about it a long time ago, like the movie The Last Dragon with Bruce Leroy. It's like, this was awesome. Then you watch it, it's like, this is one fucking awful movie. And it's like, oh, they're like the rose painted glasses that distract you from how bad something really was. But guys, we're gonna wrap up. This is gonna be part 1, probably a 2-part series for the Bourbon and Bullshit episode with my favorite people. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say goodbye to everyone for now, but tune into next week's episode where you're gonna get a little bit more about this family and a lot of the other things that we have going on. Sorry, I'm trying to hold back a sneeze. But guys, Shai, is there anything you want to say to anyone listening before we take this, for us, a break, and for them another week until they see you again?
See you next year. I guess. Sorry to be corny, but
You're such a mom.
I don't know. Like,
No, I'm not mad at it. Rosanna, anything for anyone at home listening to your seductive voice? Stop it. She's engaged.
Oh, hello. No, I guess I'll see. I guess I'll piggyback on the mommy joke. Like, I'll see you next year.
Jesus Christ. Matt, you want to yell, see you next year from the distance?
Hasta luego. go.
Fucking Matt. Guys, hopefully you guys don't do anything stupid, or you guys don't make any mistakes during New Year's Eve. Please don't text your ex. Don't send get turned, but don't send a you up message, because that girl already moved on. Greg, stop.
Not that turn.
Not that turn where you send the wrong message. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, hanging out with us. In some of the show notes, you'll see all the details around what we drank and what we've been doing. Make sure you're following on the Instagram, because it's at bourbon_and_BS. I'm not even sure Matt's following me on there, so he should probably do that. Make sure that you tune in for the Patreon, or hang out for the Patreon. We're going to be dropping bonus features, and Whiskey Minutes will be coming up more often than not. Just been the holidays, so relax, okay, guys? I'm not getting paid for this, so until you start subscribing. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and hanging out.
See you later.
Bye. Hey, guys, today's episode is brought to you by Burn, Termite, and Pest Control. I first met Joe Byrne on Full Frontal Nerdity Show and decided to give his company a try. They have been the best pest service I've ever had. From flexible scheduling, attention to detail, fair pricing, and everything you love about a small business, I highly recommend Joe Byrne and Burn, Termite, and Pest Control. It's a family-owned and operated business with over 30 years of experience in termite and pest. You can reach Burn, Termite, and Pest Control at 321-297-7985. Once again, 321-297-7985. And let them know Bourbon and Bullshit sent you. Thanks, guys. See you next time.